Alright everybody, so it ain't much, but here's my hobby room. Got all our cars on the wall, parts wall, storage for a lot of other parts, tools. Here's what we're working on today, Losi 5T. And we're working on this today because I just got this in the mail. This is the forward reverse box for the Losi 5T. Very nice packaging. Unfortunately, I didn't see much in the way of instructions. I've actually opened it already. This wasn't in there. I had to buy this from Hobbytown. You'd think for the money you spend on this, it would come with a servo, but no. Clutch bell and your pinion set. You got a hard to get to servo horn right there. It comes with a nice servo horn for the servo that they don't give you. Gears for the forward and reverse, and if you can look in there, it simply works by sliding that little guy back and forth. You can see that in there. Looks like very, very good quality. Double spur gears. I guess it's a lower gearing for the reverse, which makes sense. Here's the part that slides it back and forth, covers your spur gears. And the gear that actually makes the reverse work. Stiffens up the front and back. You take out the original, put this in, and has your servo on there. We'll start off with taking off the brake calipers. Looks like we have to take it loose from the bottom. We got those all cut open, and we're going to go ahead and take this off. Alright, is it loose?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and pull her out of there.
There we are.
Flip. And there we go. We got the dog bones out of the way. Next we have to take out this piece. This is what we're starting off with. Next we're going to go ahead and flip this. Flip the car over. Try to take out the center brace where the servo goes. Then we're going to see if we can get this clutch housing off without taking the entire engine out. You know, it's not so big on car maintenance. Now would be a great time to clean out your chassis and stuff. I'm not one of those guys that take their complete car apart every time I run it. I'm pretty good at taking it apart when it's broken, and I clean it while I do it then. This is the old one. This is the new one. We got 2 screws here, 2 screws here. The 2 we just took out on the bottom. You gotta take the clutch bell or the bolt off. Okay, after much deliberation, we figured out that this screw right there is way too much of a pain in the butt to get to. So what we're going to end up doing is taking the gas tank off instead. You could just take the engine out, but quite frankly, I don't want to do that. And the gas tank is only 3 screws, so. Alright, so remember how easy that gas tank I was telling you was to take off? Well, there's one of the little frickin' screws that we're trying to get off right now. So honestly, if I had this to do all over again, I probably would have just knocked the engine out real quick. It's really doesn't take that long. So as he finishes fighting with that, we'll get set up to do the clutch bell here. Alright, we got all those out. Just about got the clutch cover off. And there we go. So we're taking out all this. I'm probably going to clean it up real quick. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and take that screw out, and then we got to pry these 2 pieces apart. There we go. We don't need this piece. I'm just going to go ahead and put this back together. Make sure that's good and smooth. Pretty much freely rotate. Set that off to the side. Alright, one thing I did notice is taking this out and putting this in, there's actually no differential in this. So if you're looking to upgrade to a lock diff and you're going to spend, say $100 on that, and you thought about doing one of these as well, if you did just this and you don't waste your money on a lock diff, center diff, well, right there you're already $100 closer to getting this big guy. I'll line those back up, kind of semi-press those bearings back together. Small end goes towards the front, big end towards the back. Same thing with the gears. You have to take these little bushing guys out of the old one. We get this shift fork right here. If we put those on first, oh, look at there. Alright, we got the turnbuckle. Little tiny washer. Stick that on there. Stick this on here. Use the 5.5 end. Snug that down. Okay, we have that. Grab your servo of choice. This was what the hobby store had. Actually went to Hobbytown. It's a Servo waterproof SW0230MG. It actually mounts to the front. You can see the little spot they've got for your wiring harness. The only problem I see, and this is the closest one they had to fit it, is it doesn't quite match up. So we need to see if we can. I may have to Dremel those out a tiny bit. There we go. Looks like these little guys go in here. There we go. I'll go ahead and throw this back in the car. I think it might be easier just to go ahead and throw this together real quick. We're gonna go ahead and put this part on first. We got it all cleaned up while everything was apart. Just want to make sure this isn't going to hit. It looks like it's going to clear. Barely, but it's going to clear. And notice that these holes, one, they're not captured nuts like the old ones. And you got machine thread into plastic to an almost too small of a hole. So what we didn't want to ream it out to where it wouldn't grab anymore, so we did a little bit of the top. I mean, seriously, very, very little, just to get it started. And then went ahead and pre-threaded it in. Pre-threaded it in about halfway. We'll take them back out, put them up underneath, and put that back together. Alright. Looks like everything's going to be good. I'm going to have to go ahead and run this through here into my receiver box, just so I ain't got to do it when everything's back in place, just because it's kind of a pain in the butt. Now, I'm sure if you've done enough research on this to decide you want to spend a couple $100 to get one, you already know that it does take a third channel. Alright, to get those in there, we got the receiver and my light stuff out of there. Go ahead and pull this off. And I'll have my brother James fish that in there because he's got those little girly hands. He knows it's true, that's why he's not saying anything. That's it, let me see him. Alright, go girly hands. Parts all back together. Alright, for all you guys fans of the telemetry, the RPM gauge right there, when you try to slide this in, it actually hits your reverse gear. So we're going to have to take this little guy out of here, which is routed all the way up and through here, back into here. So we're going to open that back up, get rid of that little guy and the little post that it sits on, so we can fit the reverse gear. Okay, so we got this little guy disconnected for the RPM gauge, and this was actually still in the way, so we had to cut it out with a pair of side cuts, and now it clears. Alright, so now for the fun part. We're going to go ahead and throw this thing in here. Just pick up your dog bones, slide it all the way in. Slide it all the way in. Pull some of the slack out of that when we're all done, just to try to keep it away from any moving parts. It's about like she's gonna sit. Go ahead and get those screws back in the bottom, as long as the main gears should be the same teeth, so we shouldn't even need to remesh the motor.
There's no adjustment on the bottom.
Yeah, there's no adjustment on this, and we didn't take out the engine. The teeth should be the same. If not, we'll check that out during trial period, but get any flooding sounds, we'll probably take this top back off and we can remesh the gears. I think that's it. We'll go ahead and throw the brake linkages back on. Actually, we need to go ahead and grab the radio. Center this up first. Make sure it's on 5T.
Yes.
Ready? Yep. There again, we got forward. Excuse me, that's forward. That's reverse. Forward. Gotta find a groove to catch into. But that's reverse. Alright. we've got the forward reverse mechanism all done up. Forward, or excuse me, forward, reverse, forward, reverse. Now we're gonna go ahead and start it up. Alright, thanks for watching.